Hi guys! So just as a quick reminder, in the last couple of videos we started doing exercises and understanding the ga particle, the wa particle and the o particle. Have you ever noticed, however, that sometimes the ga particle and the o particle are used before a verb? This is because there are two different types of verbs, and in this video we're going to learn to distinguish the difference of transitive verbs and intransitive verbs and see when the ga particle should be used and when the o particle should be used. So let's begin. Before we begin with this video, one of the main things that we need to do is to remember the structure used by the o particle. We have subject, wa particle or ga particle, object, o particle, and then the verb. And also let's remember what the dictionary would usually tell you, and is that the o particle takes a direct object. There are quite a few verbs that do this action, and some of the very basic examples could be the verb yomu, to read, that takes books or magazines or newspapers as the object. We have taberu, which is to eat. You can take, I don't know, sushi or pasta or anything that you like to eat, that would be your object. Or you can take the verb to drink, nomu. You can drink water, you can drink beer, you can drink anything. Those will be your verbs and objects. And these verbs are mainly used with the o particle. This is what we call transitive verbs. The reason why this is called transitive verbs is because you are transferring an action between a subject and an object. Let's say you want to say, I eat sushi. Watashi wa sushi o tabemasu. I'm transferring the action of eating between me and the sushi. So that is the main reason why it's called transitive. It transfers actions. Next we have the intransitive verbs. And the intransitive verbs take the particle ga. This case scenario is your object becomes a subject. And yes, I know this might sound a little bit confusing, but technically what it means is, let's say you want to say, I turn off the light. I would be the subject, the light would be the object, and turn off would be the verb. But what if the light turn off by itself? Like maybe the bulb died or burned out or something, and then it just poof, turn off all by itself. Then that would be an intransitive verb. So now the light has become your subject who's performing the action of turning off, pretty much. So once again, I turn off the light. I, the subject, light, the object, turn off the verb. Versus the light turn off by itself. The light now is my subject and turn off is the verb. So there's not really an object right there. So that is what we call intransitive verbs. So far it looks very straightforward. You just have a subject, object, verb, or just a subject, verb, and that's it. The main problem is actually that when you are learning the verbs, the transitive and intransitive verbs, the verbs will be different. A lot of times they even share the same kanji, but the ending, the okurigana, will be different. So in the case of to open, we have akeru, which is transitive, and we have aku, which is intransitive. And then these differences is what makes all the students kind of like crazy, like, oh, how am I gonna remember all of this? One big advice that teachers give to the students is the fact that it is a very, very good exercise to learn them in pairs, like you learn the transitive version and then the intransitive version together and in context. So learn them with an actual sentence. Let's start by taking a look at a couple of examples. How about if I want to say, I turn off the light. Watashi wa denki o keshimasu. Let's remember that we don't always have to repeat the subject. I'm just doing it as an exercise, but we can always say denki o keshimasu. Denki o keshimasu. Then how about if we want to say the light is off? So it's already off, it already turned off by itself, or somebody turned it off earlier. It's off. Denki ga kiemasu. Next we can say the verb to turn on. Watashi wa denki o utsukemasu. What about if I want to say the light is on? It is already on. Nobody's turning it on, or I'm not turning it on. It's already on. Denki ga tsukimasu. Denki ga tsukimasu. The light is on. How about now the example of parking a car? You can say, Watashi wa kuruma o tomemasu. Watashi wa kuruma o tomemasu. Or we can just omit the subject and say, kuruma o tomemasu. Kuruma o tomemasu. But what if we want to say, well, the car is already parked. I'm not parking it, it's already, that's the state, it's already parked. Kuruma ga tomarimasu. Kuruma ga tomarimasu. The car is parked. Then how about I line up the book? Watashi wa hon o narabemasu. Watashi wa hon o narabemasu. But what if the book is already lined up and I'm just explaining that it's already lined up, right? Hon ga narabimasu. Hon ga narabimasu. And that explains the state of the book. There is way more to say about this wo ga particle in transitive versus intransitive verbs. In this video, it was just a rough idea of the differences so that you can start distinguishing and practicing it. Later, when we get to the actual transitive and intransitive subject, I will talk even more about it because it can get actually pretty complex. And right now, we just want to start with the very basic stuff. So I recommend you to practice. I recommend you to come up with some transitive and intransitive pairs and write them in the comments so that way we can review together. We can make sure that you're picking the correct pairs. Also, if you're not too sure about which ones are which, the dictionary, usually when you look in the dictionary, it will tell you, well, this verb is intransitive, or this verb is transitive, or this verb can be either intransitive or transitive. Practice them in context, practice them with actual sentences. Don't be afraid when you're speaking, maybe you end up making a mistake. Japanese people will be able to understand. There might be a little bit of difficulty, but they will be able to understand. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. That way I will be able to bring way more material like this for you. So thank you so much for watching, and yeah, mata ne. Bye bye.